Hello, welcome back. I will be watching the video of Giving In to the Love by Aurora. Some of you have suggested it, I noticed, because I posted the lyrics and I just took a look at the messages. And yes, I have actually already done the video, but it was partially blocked, so I'm doing it again. Yeah. So, but it's given me an opportunity, because I did this a while ago, so that a few days ago, along with the other one, and so it's given me some time to sort of look at what it's about, because look at what it's about. One of the commenters, or at least one anyway, mentioned that this is the whole album is based on Greek goddesses, and I wonder if it's just Greek goddesses. I guess not. Greek gods, I would say, right? Because in this particular video, supposedly it's about Prometheus, who's a man. So, man, well, God, sort of, so not the top god, Mount Olympus, but, lower rank god type of thing. So it's quite interesting that she's doing this in this way, Aurora, that is. It's instructive too, I think, for people that follow her, I hope. I mean, it shows her, how brilliant she is and how smart, and I was watching this interview with these two guys, and then it's sort of like I couldn't find it anymore. I started watching it, and then it disappeared. I don't know what happened. But anyway, they were interviewing her, and she mentioned something. They were talking about something about what the video is about and stuff like that. And because she was talking about the Greek mythology and so on, which I thought was quite interesting. Because I sort of had some, I have some interest in that. So it just sort of interesting the way she said. Actually, at one point she said, well, it's about, do you know, and she mentioned she asked one of the interviewers, do you know, what's the Alien 3 movie called, the third movie, of Alien? And the guy goes, Prometheus. And she goes, well, that's it, Prometheus. That's what the video is about, which I found interesting. The whole thing is a little bit interesting. But one of the things that I found interesting, well, aside from the fact that the third Alien movie is actually Alien 3. Then there's Alien 4, The Resurrection. That's what Sigourney Weaver comes back from the dead type of thing, as a clone. And then there's Prometheus after that. So it's not really the third movie. But it's funny how two wrongs make a right. Yeah? So they communicated correctly, even though the information was incorrect. So it's sort of funny. But I find it interesting that it's Prometheus, because giving into the love, because he's sort of like in love with the human race in a sense. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't really have the type of human race that we have, so to speak. Good and bad. Because one of the things about Prometheus, which is really interesting, aside from the fact that he brought fire, he sort of stole an amber of a flame from from Mount Olympus with the aid of Athena, the goddess Athena, the daughter of Zeus, and the aid, sort of like she let him do it, So, and he took the amber and brought back the fire to the human race. So, well, men generally at the time. It was just men. That's the interesting thing, because Zeus was sort of he got sort of, I'm not going to go into all the thing, but Zeus was sort of bored, and he's the type of character that is basically godlike in the worst ways at times. so he needed something. So he asked one of his sons to create something interesting, something that gets them out of their boredom, because they had just come out from a war, and anyway, they were just bored. So and the son, I can't remember his name. I think it was Hermias or something like that. He created animals, and the last one was basically men. And it's funny because he only created men, not women. Okay, so and everything was peaceful, and everything was all great and whatever. Then Zeus got tired of that, the whimsical person he is, and sort of penalized men, brought him, because they were almost like going to the same parties, and he didn't want them to come to the same party. So he sort of like said, hey, you belong down there. So that's it. And he took away a lot of the freedoms that they had because they lived in the Garden of Eden. And then Prometheus, because Zeus took away the fire that he had given originally to man in order to protect themselves, and that's another story. But because he took it away, then Prometheus, he said, okay, I'm going to steal it and give it back to men, But Prometheus, as the name implies, is actually, is a person of forethought. So he's sort of like, it's strange because he knew that Zeus was going to get really angry, and you don't want that. And but he did it anyway, for the benefit of men. So to make a long story longer, basically he took the fire, gave it to man, and then everything seemed to be okay in that sense. But then Zeus got really angry when he found out, and what he did is he first penalized man. And the way he penalized man is by introducing a woman, Pandora. Not only her, but a box. He also had gifted her a box called Pandora's box. And then there's another mythological, story that goes along with that. But basically, a lot of the bad things that in other words, that was the penalty. That was what Zeus offered, his revenge, for the participation of the prodigies of Prometheus in the scheme, even though they didn't really participate. This was Prometheus doing his thing. And then Prometheus, he got like really, he got hit. He suffered quite a bit for that. And because, like I said, Zeus is vindictive, he's terrible, and it's sometimes nice, depending on his mood, And I don't know if the sun is like bouncing off of here, but it's blinding me for some reason. But anyway, so this is, like sometimes I used to think, okay, if she reads my book, maybe there's some aspects of the book that are, intense and sort of like Game of Thrones style things that are not necessarily, they're nasty, somewhat, relatively speaking. And then relatively speaking to these mythological stories, it's actually quite tame in comparison, because there's some stories are really wicked, It's like a study in horror type of thing. Because Prometheus ended up being chained to the side of a mountain where an eagle would go under the command of Zeus, would go and eat his liver every day, eat his liver, But he would never die, obviously, because Prometheus is immortal. And then, but in order to make him suffer more, Zeus made it that his liver would grow back every day. So the whole thing would go on. And that sort of happened for thousands of years. But Prometheus, being the man of forethought, he had some inside info that Zeus wanted to know. So he knew at the end that he was going to be liberated. And he was, and then he spilled what he knew was going to, a warning for Zeus. Okay, so that's it. But what I'm interested in is how she perceives the things that she's doing with this album. Maybe one day I'll get to interview her or something. But it's interesting because, like I said, it's not just women, it's goddesses, it's gods. I think Greek gods in general that she's doing, and also not only that, but from my understanding, she's because she did, or she was going to do Aphrodite. That's Greek, but she also did La Nascita di Venere, which is the birth of Venus. So, but that's a Roman mythology. Even though Roman mythology and Greek mythology are almost identical, except for a couple of things. Like I think Venus, for example, is also in charge of more things than Aphrodite, like fertility or something. So it's interesting, and I don't know how she splits the two. She divides the two into different songs and so on. And what's interesting is that all of this escaped me because even the Exist for Love, I didn't realize, that shell that she was coming out from, I didn't realize that was from the painting, the Botticelli painting of Venus, the birth of Venus. And it's because I sort of flipped through a book that I had next to my nightstand, and I flipped through the pages, but I still had to go actually read it and go into it. And so I didn't make the connection. And here's the book, actually. I don't know if you can see it. Look. I don't know if you can see this. And in here, there's a picture of the Venus. The birth of Venus and the painting. And not only that, but somebody had mentioned previously a while ago, a couple of months ago or something, that she is actually, she basically, it's as if like Aurora just stepped out of a Botticelli painting. And it's true. If I had to do something, like if I knew how to do it, artistically speaking, I would design her face on the painting of the Botticelli painting of Venus, the birth of Venus. I would do that, but I don't know how to do that. So, and I definitely don't want to learn how to do something else at this point because my brain is full. So, okay, here we go. So that's enough of that. And what I try and do is because it's not just for me, it's these reactions are somewhat, let's say, just doing reactions is not satisfying. I need to be somewhat creative, or at least impart something to the audience that is maybe a little bit of more interest. And this is what I plan to do, what I hope to do with a membership, when I set that up, hopefully soon, so that I could do more like this for those who are interested. And I can also go into other things that are outside of the scope, maybe not that far outside, but all, it's things that have to do with the whole cycle of love, life, love, death, the meanings and what it actually means in the sense of like when you search inside, because all my research has been internal, well, most of it anyway. So, and all the answers that we need are inside us. Just so yeah, so maybe I could share that, for those who are interested. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's get going here. So, and obviously I'm gonna have to interrupt more than I did the first time because I don't want it to get blocked again, right? Or at least partially blocked, and I don't know where they partially blocked it. So I'm gonna have to stop quite a bit. So excuse me for that, okay?
I'm losing my command. I'm tired of the rules and your corrections. I want to live my life, be all of its pages.
Okay, so I have to stop her in the middle, and because I didn't stop her last time.
And underline that I am not an angel, 'cause if I'm not pure.
Now here I stopped it last time, and just because, and I'm gonna stop it here again, but because I noticed that the leaf is the same color as her eyes, which freaked me out, you know, and I think it's because her eyes are light, and they sort of like, I think they reflect whatever the colors around her are, especially outside. That's why she's a nymph, so to speak. And that's about it. So that's it.
I guess that I'm too much. I'll never know how to keep in touch.
Is she too much? Sometimes, you know, because she's too much in the sense that she's too funny. She's too good. That's too much.
If I'll be somebody, I'll never let my skin decide it for me.
Definitely, you know, I can never see her being superficial. I don't know why. It just, she's born like that, I think, in the sense of like she has such insight in life.
I never had the world, so I changed for it. I never had the world, so I changed for it.
Yeah, I mean, she's never she's never really wanted all this fame and attention. Then why should it matter to her? You know, all these things. And I think this is, as I noticed last time, one of the dancers too. They did a great job, you know, in staying still. Wow. Well, I don't know if they were the dancers, but I assume that she is reusing the same people around her, right? Because of the COVID thing.
Someone others trying.
Okay, I just stopped here because I needed to.
To find somebody who is not dying, but everybody cries and nobody comforts. The television lies and now my mind hurts.
Okay, her sentences are so long. You're gonna get me in trouble, you know, with the copyright things.
And if I'm not loved, I guess that I am cursed. I gotta know how to beat it first.
Okay, that's just cute and funny, you know. Because first of all, if you're not loved, it's not being cursed, because ultimately love, you know, the love that's unconditional, the love that is enlightenment in itself, is something that originates from within, from this realization of things, and it emerges from that. Like you can see in Aurora, she has a certain sense of it, even if she doesn't. I don't know whether she understands it completely, though I never put anything past her. But she is naturally that, and maybe she's always been like that. I don't know why, but she has this insight, you know. I mean, just I could barely look at her because she has this light, you know, that and this whole essence about her. And so, if you have this love within you, you don't obviously you don't need it from somebody else. You're actually giving love. It's an energy, and you're giving it away. You're sort of, you know, it's permeating through you and going somewhere else. And then people tend to be attracted to that at times and so on. But because there are people who are attracted to the light, let's say, you know, and yeah. And again, she repeats the chorus, and I believe her. And she, so just to finish that thought, when you're so that unconditional love, okay, when it makes it so that you don't need to somebody else's love. That's what it comes down to. It's all encompassing because it's without attachments. So if so that's why you don't really need it coming in from somewhere else. It's emerging from you, regardless of what's happening around you. So in a sense, I'm just going to continue here.
I never had the world, so I changed for it. I never had the world, so I changed for it.
She's such a good dancer and naturally like an actress, you know. Even in the video itself, you know, they're filming her, and you could tell she's not looking at the camera, she's looking at the plant, the branch, you know. Now in this case here, I find this quite interesting because she is igniting, you know, people that are statues. And I guess it's very symbolic of what happened, what the environment, the civilization in general, that people are walking around like zombies or statues in a sense, right? And it's almost like she's giving that light that she has, you know, within her, just to ignite that, you know, people into living. I think maybe I'm reading too much into that. But anyway. And she's the connecting force. As you can see that she's sort of like they blended her in, right? Now this is beautiful because I think that this is very much like Michelangelo's painting of the Sistine Chapel. I think it's symbolic of that, right? And it's interesting because in a way, well, in that particular case, what happens is that I don't think that God and man really touch. It's like this, you know, there's a distance between the fingers. So here they do touch, you know? So that's interesting. It's like they're sleepers. That's what it is. It's not zombies, but more sleepers, right? And now they're awake. They're awakened. She's like what was that character? The main character of the movie Dune, the book Dune, you know, of Frank Herbert Dune, right? The sleeper has awakened. She's awake and she's waking everybody up. See, she's awakening everybody from the dream state or from being like statues and so on, you know. And she's awakening people to love. And I think if I had to define Aurora, that would be it. She is the sleeper that has awakened, or actually she's always been probably awake, but she's awakening people to love. And how powerful is that as a mission, or whatever it's not really a mission, it's something that she does naturally. Yeah. As you can see, and then everybody goes and goes to play, right? With her following her, to play. That's beautiful. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully things continue down the right road. I'm trying my best to promote Aurora, because I think she's deserving of that. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think I've spoken enough as well. So, wish me luck in getting this posted. So, yeah, take care. Have a great day. Hopefully this was all right. Bye.